Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
And to anybody new to the channel, I'm Papergoy. I'm a one-man band with a day job. I work out of the house, about 40,000 items online, and trying to do it, through estate sales, flea markets, things like that. So hopefully that'll help you.
And I'm Mr. Magazine with the big warehouse. We just hired 3 more employees. We're up to 15 now. About 500,000 items listed, 500,000 that need to be listed, and we buy all over the world, actually.
There you go. We got a lot going on behind us today, don't we?
Yeah, it looks nice bird's eye view here.
That does not look like fun, does it?
No.
And that's kind of the point of today's episode. I know I've had a few discussions with a couple of people out there, and their point is simply, you're doing this, it's a job, you're doing it to make money. And on one hand, they are correct. On the other hand, I disagree with them. Now, obviously, if you're hand to mouth, you need to do what you need to do, and money has to be first and foremost. I mean, if you're 20 minutes away from living out in the street, disregard this entire. In fact, turn it off now and get listening. What are you doing, wasting your time watching us? If that's your situation, but assuming you've got some level of backup and some level of ability to do things that aren't just for the money, I humbly disagree with the critics that say you're just supposed to list. Wasn't there a show on TV for a bunch of years about just really, really bad jobs that people could have?
Yeah, I think it was like Dirty Jobs.
Dirty Job, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Who was the host?
Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe your boat. We used to say Mike Rowe your boat. He's good, that guy.
We did?
Yeah.
That was great.
Sure. Yeah, that was Mike Rowe.
Yeah, and he would highlight different jobs that you could have. Things like embalmer, I think he did one on. People clean out septic tanks.
Yeah.
A really bad job has to be cleaning out the porta potties. That cannot be a fun job.
Well, even toilets in general, cleaning toilets. How do I know this? Well, I got in trouble in school years ago, and for community service, they made me clean the toilets in the school.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
It wasn't fun.
Did you get in trouble a second time?
No.
Then I guess it was...
I didn't get caught. Let's just put it that way after that.
So I think it was effective.
Sure.
And that's kind of the point, is do something or other that you enjoy, because otherwise a lot of these jobs, working on an oil rig, for example, pays very, very well.
Yeah.
However, you're, especially the ones out at sea,
right.
You're out at sea for weeks or months at a time.
Yeah.
You're away from your family and friends. You're just out there. It's dangerous work. It's long hours.
Yeah.
You make crazy money.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Because if everybody was just after the money, they'd all be signing up right now to go off on an offshore oil rig. There's a reason they don't do it.
Right. Exactly.
And it's because for most people, money's not the only thing that you worry about. You also worry about some level of job satisfaction. And if I were worried just about money, I'm certain that I could go and I could probably scour around and find 10,000 car magazines or tons of glassware. In fact, I could probably buy that pot off of you that you got for sale, and I could probably make really, really good money out of it. Right. There's a reason you're not listing the stuff, and it isn't necessarily that there's not good stuff in the pod.
Right.
It's drudgery.
Yeah.
So you do have to get some level of enjoyment out of it. You get level of enjoyment out of what you do, I would anticipate. Sometimes, not
absolutely.
always.
Yeah. Well, I love the thrill, seeking out the deals, the scores, buying the collections up, and and then once they sell it, it's a satisfaction. Like I knew what I was doing by buying this, or it was a good decision. It's definitely fun.
Leave out the absolute score deals. Mm-hmm. Leave those out.
Yeah.
If I told you that you weren't going to get any score deals, no, $10,000 deals for $200, you weren't getting any of those. Yeah. You would just be getting run-of-the-mill deals, but they were fun things to pick up, fun things to look at, fun things to learn.
Yeah.
Would you do buys for the next year?
Yeah, that brings up a good point, because we just had a situation yesterday. I love to baffle my employees by buying crazy things. They're like, what is he doing buying this? And then when it sells, they're like dumbfounded. And we picked up, it was original Power Ranger soap set.
Okay.
So it had, soap figurines of all the characters. We had it listed for a few months, but it finally sold for like $30 or $40. And the guy packing is like, "Are you kidding me? Like, who would want this?" But obviously, Power Rangers is iconic, and everyone's a lot of collectors out there. But even like, I'll buy violins or accordions, and they think I'm crazy because we don't deal in that stuff. And then when it sells, like, wow, that was $100. I wouldn't pay $5 at the garage sale, but Mr. Magazine sold it for 100. So
Yeah,
it's
yep.
fun.
Yep. So would you be for the next year? I'm not talking long term, 20 years, 30 years. I'm talking the next year. Would you be able to sell out of inventory for the next year?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
For the next 10 years, probably.
So you wouldn't need to buy. And again, I'm saying absolutely no killer deals come
Yeah.
through for next year. Just okay deals come through for
Right.
next year. You wouldn't need to buy any of those. You'd still have enough stuff to sell, and you'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But you buy because it gives you some level of enjoyment.
Yeah.
Same thing with the listing the stuff. How many times have I tripped over boxes of stuff that, yes, at some point it has to get on,
Right.
but I just don't want to list it because I don't get any enjoyment out of listing it. At some point I will. I'll bite the bullet, like we did the video about the foreign language artwork that I put up.
Yeah,
I bit the bullet and I made money off of that deal, and eventually some more will sell, and I'll do well off of it. But if I had to do that every single day, if that were my niche, but I didn't like that niche,
Right.
I probably would be doing overnight stocking over at Walmart to make money.
Yeah.
Could I make more money with a second job right now than I make on eBay? Yes, I could.
I've been trying to hire you. So, I keep raising my amount, and he's not biting it. So.
I'm not. No, $3.80. We're getting close. But I could make more money doing something else. But I wouldn't have the enjoyment that I get out of the eBay.
Yeah.
I sound like an old man, right? The eBay. So I guess my point to everybody out there is, if you're not in desperate times call for desperate measures, sell whatever you can, list whatever you can, do whatever you have to do. But if you've got some level of security, don't force yourself to sell what you don't like to sell. You're going to absolutely hate it. It's going to be a job to you, and a terrible job to you. And you're going to have to get through it every day. And what ends up happening if you end up with a terrible job?
You probably quit.
You quit, or you don't give your effort.
Right.
And especially if it's your second job, which, I've got the day job. I want to talk about a terrible job. I've got the day job. Try dealing with state management every day. But I've got the day job. eBay is my second job. If you sat there and you gave me 50,000 car magazines and told me this is what you have to list, how often am I springing out of bed saying, I'm going to be listing 1973 Road and Track?
Yeah, unless you're getting paid six figures to do it, probably
Never.
unlikely.
Yeah. And so what's going to end up happening? I'll list 2 magazines today. It's a sunny day. I'm not going to list anything today.
Yeah.
And you'll find excuses not to do it.
Right.
And would I make good money if you sold me 50,000 car magazines for $1,000? I'd make great money.
Yeah.
But it would be a job that I would absolutely hate.
Yeah.
And it would never end up getting listed.
Right.
Whereas if I had 50,000 items that I enjoyed,
Right.
even if I made less money on them, they would all get listed, which is what it comes down to.
Right.
You want to talk about a bad job? I was reading in the Economist magazine that in Norway, they hired kids to do the job. They cut tongues out of fish because I guess the tongues are a delicacy.
Oh, jeez.
Now, that's a job that I don't know what it's paying, but I'm not cutting the tongue out of fish.
Yeah, I'm not cutting the tongue out of anything.
So hopefully that helps you a little bit over there. Don't just go for the money unless you absolutely need to, or unless you're absolutely built on, I need more money, I need more money, I need more money. There's some people that's all that they care about, and if that's your case, we've got a bin of stuff here we can sell you for sure.
A couple containers online right now. Yeah.
But if you aren't absolutely in those situations, sell what you enjoy to sell. You'll get much more happiness out of it. And as you get older, you'll realize that it's not just all about money. I think probably you and I both had some level of, when we didn't have any money whatsoever, that was the most important thing. And it's really hard to explain to younger people that you're going to end up making the money. Right. It just takes time.
Yeah.
And you want this, you want this, you want this, you want this, you want 20 different things. You're not going to be able to afford them all at once.
Right.
It's just not possible. But if slow and steady and you keep building up, et cetera, over time you'll end up getting the money you need.
Right.
And then you'll realize you want to get some level of enjoyment out of the job as well. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to be flying off to Norway to cut tongues out of fish.
No, I'm going to be flying to bed after we're done here.
What about if you could keep the fish afterwards?
No.
Wow, still. I want to see you
Only
put
if
those.
they're talking fish. I want to hear them
Put 'em on
talk
the wall.
after the tongue's cut out.
I like to see you get that on in your carry-on. What do you have in your carry-on? 40 cod.
Luca Brasi, that in the vest.
There you go. Alrighty, we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.